Number 1. The Trick-or-Treater. In 1974, 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien died on Halloween evening after eating candy laced with cyanide. But the story has an even more horrific twist. It turned out the candy was poisoned by Timmy's father, Ronald, who was in financial trouble and had taken out insurance policies on his kids. In addition to Timmy, Ronald O'Brien gave poison candy to 4 other children, including his daughter Elizabeth. Thankfully, none of them ate it. O'Brien was executed by lethal injection in 1984. Number 2. Halloween decoration. In 2005, a 42-year-old woman in Delaware committed suicide by hanging herself from a tree across the street from a residential area. Though the body was easily visible to passerby and passing vehicles, no one called the police for hours. Why? They assumed the woman swaying in the wind was a Halloween decoration. Number 3. The son who decapitated his mother and left her body in the street. One night in Long Island just before Halloween 2014, a decapitated body laid in the street 5 feet away from a severed head. To many passers-by, the horrific sight appeared to be a Halloween prank. But the truth was far more disturbing. 35-year-old Derek Ward had used a kitchen knife to kill and decapitate his mother, Patricia, then carried the body and head out of their apartment. After leaving the body and head in the street, Ward jumped in front of a commuter train, killing himself. Number 4. Scream. In the movie Scream, killers wearing ghost face masks callously murdered the people in their town. Chillingly, on Halloween night 2013, someone wearing the same ghost face mask shot and killed 19-year-old Anthony Seabury before disappearing into the New York night. Number 5. The Last TrickOrTreater. In 1982, 69-year-old Marvin Branlin was getting ready for bed after a night of handing out Halloween candy, when there was one more knock at his door. Branlin opened the door to find someone wearing a pillowcase over their head with the holes cut out for eyes. The figure said, "Trick or treat, give me your money or I'll shoot." He then pulled out a gun and ordered Branlin into his basement, where Branlin kept a safe. Branlin figured this was a prank since only family members knew about the safe. He grabbed for the gun. The person in the pillowcase fired, hitting Branlin in the throat, killing him. The killer fled, leaving the pillowcase at the scene. In 2010, the pillowcase was tested for DNA, but there wasn't enough DNA on it to make a match. Number 6. Hanging from the Gallows. In 1990, a Chicago area teenager, Brian Jewell's job was to give hayride customers a scare by pretending to hang from the gallows. Jewell had pulled off the stunt just fine earlier in the day, but that night something went terribly wrong. When the hayride approached Jewell, he was hanging from the gallows with his feet touching the ground. The tractor driver began to worry. The driver's worries only grew when Jewell failed to deliver his usual speech. According to the prosecutors, there was no signs of foul play. Number 7. Stepfather from Hell. On Halloween 1984, 8-year-old Brian Massey should have been enjoying a night of trick-or-treating with his sisters, Tiffany 11 and Tamara 10. Instead, he was subjected to a real-life horror film when his new stepfather, 26-year-old David Andrews, stabbed his mother to death before chasing his sisters down the hall and murdering them as well. Andrews then came into Massey's room, covered in blood, and kidnapped the boy. 2 days later, police found Massey alive after apprehending Andrews, who had tried and failed to kill himself. Disturbingly, Andrews struck a plea deal in exchange for a reduction of charges. He is eligible to be paroled next month.